This is the story of two women who made a home for themselves in the woods of Sweden. One of them lives in a cabin in the north, and the other one is restoring an off-grid house in the south. You are invited along on a little journey in the south of Sweden in the month of January. Later in the video, the two women will share honest anecdotes about the irreplaceable beauty and the unavoidable struggles of living a simple life in the woods, and what you should be aware of. If this speaks to you, you might also like the tour of the off-grid cabin coming up in the video. The woman from the north is Christine. She's from Denmark, and in the process of finding a home in the countryside, she fell in love with Kalle, who lived in a rural cabin in North Sweden. They now live together with their two huskies, Nala and Tuss. The north of Sweden is known for its long winters with incredible amounts of snow and days filled with darkness, as the sun barely rises above the horizon. The south, on the other hand, has naked land with green moss, even in the middle of the winter. This is where Annie fell in love. She fell in love with the endless landscapes and peaceful nature as she knew them from her home country, the Faroe Islands. It was her big love, Julian, who introduced her to Sweden, and together they have 2 cottages and a cabin on the way. The occasion for these women to meet at this time was a women's gathering in a cottage in the south of Sweden.
Filming each other. I think it's so charming. I really think. I love that you go over that little stream and you get into this little paradise in the middle of the forest. It's so.
I know.
It's so charming. Really. Dejligt.
We're gonna build the walls on the walls.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna have new walls. You're not gonna keep those?
No, because they're different.
Yeah, I know, but it could be.
We had to take all that away.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't just keep some of it because it's so charming with this old. I know when you put new together with some old. I love that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like you can't be drunk and go on this when. This is det så charmerende, I skal over i sådan en lille stream, før I kommer til I værklivet til.
Det gider. Det har man ikke lyst til.
What is it about living in a simple cabin in the woods that makes you happy?
Actually, comfort zone was the first that came to my mind.
Yeah?
Actually, I went out of my comfort zone, and I think like the cabin have made me sometimes feel I was really alive, if that makes sense. Like those things I also can hate sometimes.
Yeah.
And going out, picking water, and all of that is also things when I have time. I feel so alive when I do that. Like it feels, I don't know, it feels like you're part of your home, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but just that feeling.
Like,
yeah.
You're getting out, like some of the mornings when I'm here and I wake up and I see there's no more water to wash my hands. And the first thing I need to do
is to go down to the river and the stream and pick some water. And I need to do that for the home, for the house to function.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the house is functioning, but it's also, I don't know, it's a feeling of, I know where my water is coming from. I feel a part of, you know, of the nature of going out and picking that water. It feels like I'm a part of the forest. I'm a part of, you know, the forest is feeding me.
Yeah, you give back and you give to
exactly.
each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course it's also tough, you know. It's also really tough when it's like -20 and you're freezing your ass off and you have to go out and pick water. So it's not always romantic and fun, but those days, you know, where I'm really going out and I can feel the sun on my skin and the fresh forest air. That kind of air you only get in the forest. I don't know if you can smell it.
Yeah.
And you go out and picking the water from the stream, and like it makes so much sense in my heart. Like I don't know, it's suddenly like though that simple little thing makes it's just coming like a feeling of happiness, like of a home feeling. I don't know how to explain it more.
So when you moved to the woods,
yeah,
you felt like you came home?
yeah. Because I say yeah because I'm like, yeah, I felt I come home because I always want to live in the middle of nowhere. But I was also a very spoiled city girl, you know. I didn't know how to do normal stuff and how to get my basic needs meet when I couldn't get them out from a tap. The bigger challenge is when you get tired, and when you're tired and, you know, the old comfort. You know, the city girl is coming in and she's tired. I remember in the beginning when I moved to the cabin, I was extremely exhausted because I have to think, you know, all those small habits. You know, you go out, brush your teeth. You have these habits you don't have to think about.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have to think about. You can recognize it. Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to think about all these small steps that just used to be like a part of
It's
you.
so easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have to think about, where I'm gonna get clean water to brush my teeth.
Yeah, where to
where do I
spit out.
Where do I spit out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of energy in the beginning because I was like my brain was like on tough work.
What keeps you going when things are hard?
That living in nature makes me truly happy, and I feel a calmness and a grounding I haven't felt before. I told you once about when, you know, I stood there in the summer. There was no water in the pond because it had been drying out, and I need to get water from our well. And it was so heavy and I couldn't almost not push it away, the lid. And then something happened and I cut my hand and it just began to bleed, and where I just cried because I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
And even though I was sitting there and crying and the blood was just like a little voice inside of me like, but do you want to get back to the city? And just that little thought of leaving nature, leaving this, you know, home, that makes me keep going because it's tough, but I have never felt so happy before in a place.
So even though everything is just really crappy, then it's still much more fulfilling than living in the city.
Yeah,
your
it
old
is.
life.
I'm waking up every morning and just I can't wait to look outside. That is that feeling I have, like, how is the day today and how is the forest smelling, and you know, like I'm really that feeling like of being truly happy every morning when you wake up and look outside the window. That is yeah.
So what would you say to someone who is considering a lifestyle like this?
I jumped a bit into it, so I didn't think so much. I just have this call inside, but I would say plan a bit more than what I did. Like maybe have some money you have saved, and maybe, you know, but also don't think too much. Like take the step if that had been a calling for you for a long time, but and don't think it's gonna be this perfect fairy tale. like don't have this perfect picture in your brain, and just take a step each, take a day
One day at a time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think if you think you're going out and gonna be having this perfect life in the woods, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. Yeah, because everyday life hits here too.
Yeah.
And I remember when we moved in here, and we had been living here for a week, and the animals were taking our trash in the night.
Yeah.
So 2 days in a row, I just had to go up and clean all of our trash because we hadn't yet
Yeah.
a system for trash. And the toilet that we had built was filling up, and I
Yeah.
had to go empty it, and I had never done that before. And I just felt like it was just trash and crap all around me, and it was not very romantic.
No. I know that feeling. I know that feeling so well. We have also been talking a lot about our mouse problem. You know, like we had so many mouse, not that much more in the cabin, but I have to wake up every morning and start cleaning the kitchen. I have cleaned the night before because of the mouses. So, so there you get a bit tired. You really do. But at the same time, yeah, that's beautiful moments where you're like, I'm the luckiest girl in the whole world.
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm living here. And then there's moments where you like want to scream at the cabin, and
Yeah.
But,
and then you feel alive.
yeah, you feel alive.
Yeah.
You really truly do. And I also think I missed that, because I remember I was quite bored in the apartment when I was living in the city. Like, you come home, and there was not that much more to do. You can clean, but when you were done cleaning, you could watch Netflix or go out or something like that. And I think I need a place that will like pushing me a bit. I think I need to feel this.
Yeah. Well, solving
Yeah.
problems makes us happy.
Yeah.
So when you get a huge problem and you solve it, you get a huge feeling of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the bigger the problem is, the more happy you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we talked about also, I have a dream. We both have a dream of getting some animals. And I think, again, animals is tough job. It's a lot of work, but the work giving you some sense of life. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the animals are happy and healthy and give
Yeah.
you something back. Just like the forest is giving you something back, the animals will give you
Yeah.
something back, and it's fulfilling.
Yeah. Like making a garden or something.
Yeah.
It's a bit the
Yeah.
same feeling, like when you see things grow, but it was tough work.
Like spending months and months, like putting
Yeah.
these small seeds into the ground and nurturing them, watering
Yeah.
them, and watching this little seed grow
Yeah.
into a little tiny tree, and then months later you get this vegetable and you
Exactly.
can eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
it's a long journey, and
Yeah.
it's a lot longer than going to the grocery shop, getting the
Yeah.
same size vegetable.
Yeah. But I just think as long people don't think it's gonna be perfect, I'm gonna move out of the city and then I'm gonna live in a little cottage and my life gonna be perfect and I'm gonna be happy and my problems gonna stay in the city, then you up to failure, because the I don't know, the ghosts are moving with you to the cottage. It's not like you're gonna be a perfect zen person. But for me it makes way more sense to live in the forest than live in the city, because I generally feel way happier and way more calm, and I feel that my problems, my ghosts is more workable in the forest than it was in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're not a perfect person and you're not getting a perfect life. No. Do you feel that?
No.
No.
But I have those days where I really truly feel I'm living in a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And
Me
then I
too.
have days where, just normal days where it's just another day and I do some work and make dinner or something. And then there are crappy days where something like the power is gone and the solar panels aren't working, or just the dishes are piling up and I haven't gotten water or something like that. Yeah, just these things that would be so easy to fix in the
Yeah.
city
Yeah.
or in a normal house,
Yeah.
that are just these huge things here.
But when it's beautiful, it's so extreme beautiful that you're forgetting how tough it could be.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
I will take any crappy day here as long as we get
Yeah.
like all of this nature, beautiful nature, and these
Yeah.
sunlights. And I know we are totally in different places in Sweden. This is like snow
is
for
winter.
me. Can you see the snow?
Yeah.
Like there's like frost.
Yeah.
Look at all this greenery.
I feel we're in spring now. I really feel that.
Before you plan moving to the woods, you can ask yourselves these questions. Am I ready to replace traffic noise with the noise of a woodpecker in the morning? Would I be okay with sharing my home with mice? Am I the off-grid type, or would I like some modern conveniences? What would make me happy by living in the countryside? Why do I want to move? What do I want to leave behind? After watching this, do I still feel a longing to live in nature? You can read the questions again in the description below, and if you'd like, you're welcome to share your answers with us in the comments. Feel free to subscribe to this channel for more inspiration on cabin life, off-grid renovation, and making our dreams come true. We have the most loving community in the comments section. A huge thank you to Christine Kier. If you don't follow her already, I can recommend her YouTube channel with all my heart. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye.